When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
Have you heard the rumor that Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston had an affair that ended his marriage? People that I respect, some that I even love, who may or may not watch this show.
Barack Obama's presidency, some say it was all smoke and mirrors. A polished image, but behind that smile, layers of controversy most folks were never meant to question. Now, the internet's buzzing again, and no one even had to spark it. Comedian Katt Williams, in one of his wildest viral sets, didn't just joke around. He ripped into Obama's image, calling him a white-friendly black man, a safe, mainstream version, far from the raw roots, he claimed. That wasn't just comedy, that was a warning shot. Williams hinted at something deeper. Was Obama's rise more about control than true change? He painted the picture of a president packaged to fit the system, not shake it.
And that's the thing is, so the Bidens and the Obamas hate each other because Michelle Obama is very good friends with Hunter Biden's ex-wife. So that's led to a significant problem where they don't like Hunter, and if you don't like Hunter, Joe doesn't like you. So I would not be surprised if Holmes is right on with this of like, oh, well, why don't we do this?
It's like, oh man, you give us.
Years later, those jokes hit different. They feel more like clues. And with the country still picking up the pieces from the Obama era, one debate just exploded. LGBTQ mentors in schools. What's really behind this push? Critics haven't forgotten. They've long said Obama pushed a so-called pro-homosexuality agenda. A heavy claim, sure, but it keeps making the rounds, especially in conservative circles.
I mean, there's, not to add insult to injury, but there's a Daily Mail report out today saying Kamala Harris's marriage may be on the rocks. Like everybody's on the rocks. Again, I will say I love the Daily Mail, but the sourcing appeared weak. It was like people who know the couple, but like, I don't know if it's any better than that. But they're saying she's blaming him in part for her loss because he turned out to be such a hot mess liability. You buy it?
And now folks are connecting those old dots in a brand new way. LGBTQ visibility didn't just grow, it exploded. From rainbow lights glowing on the White House to federal protections that some called overdue and others called extreme. Fast forward to today, and the debates moved into classrooms. But this time, it's not just about learning diversity. It's about kids being mentored specifically by LGBTQ adults. Is that inclusion or something more? Was this shift organic? Or was it all part of a bigger cultural game plan that started way back? Then boom, one jaw-dropping street interview flipped everything upside down. Just weeks before her tragic death, Joan Rivers dropped a bomb. With zero hesitation, she told a reporter, "We already have a homosexual president," and followed it up with, "You know Michelle is a transgender."
The truth about Jen and Barack is that there is no truth.
There is
it
no
is
truth.
Untrue. You know Barack Obama.
I've met him once.
Met him once.
I know Michelle more than him.
What is there a truth about you and Michelle that we should know?
That is not true.
Just like that. No stuttering, no laughing. It was eerie how sure she sounded. People freaked out. Some laughed it off, others gasped, but a quiet few paid very close attention. And when the reporter asked her to explain, Joan didn't backtrack. She calmly repeated, "A transgender." We all know, but who's we? And why was she so bold about saying it? Look, Joan Rivers was always stirring the pot. She made fun of everyone, got banned from networks, and didn't care one bit. But this wasn't fashion jokes or red carpet gossip. This was personal. It struck right at the Obamas' carefully crafted image. Then, less than 2 months later, she was gone. Not from cancer, not old age. She went in for a simple throat procedure. Then everything spiraled. Her oxygen tanked, her vitals crashed, and no one reacted fast enough. Was it just bad luck? That's what some say. But others, they think something darker went down. Online sleuths claimed it was no accident. They called it assassination by neglect, that Joan said too much, and someone made sure she'd never say more.
I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves.
The theory gained steam when it came out the clinic performed the procedure without authorization and later settled a malpractice suit with her daughter, Melissa. Of course, the Obamas were never officially tied to any of this. President Obama even sent Melissa a handwritten note praising Joan's wit and legacy. But for skeptics, that only raised more eyebrows. If what she said was so ridiculous, why respond at all? Some call it class, others think it was a little too smooth. Some say Obama's team was just doing damage control, but Joan Rivers wasn't the only one stirring the pot. Enter Larry Sinclair, a known con man with a messy past, sure, but his resurfaced interview lit the internet on fire. He claimed that back in the late 90s, he met Obama at a bar, shared something that rhymes with Kane, and things got real personal in a hotel room. Wild story? Definitely. Credible in court? Not at all. But the timing? Way too suspicious to ignore.
True. It truly would be a political earthquake in Democrat circles. Never mind America. I don't remember a presidential divorce in modern history.
Then Tucker Carlson gave him the mic, and boom, social media exploded. Suddenly, people started replaying Joan's words with a whole new lens. Believe it or not, the smoke won't clear. And that's the point, because now the conversation's shifted. It's not just about who Obama was, but what kind of legacy he really left behind. Take today's LGBTQ mentorship push in schools. This didn't just pop up. It's been brewing since the Obama years. So was all that hope and change just a headline? Or was there fine print nobody read? And now, more whispers. The kind that start in the comment section and end up on talk shows. Rumors say Barack and Michelle barely live as a couple anymore, that they've been living separate lives. Michelle skipped Trump's inauguration and even Jimmy Carter's funeral, and according to the gossip, she just couldn't fake it any longer. But what happens when rumors start connecting too well? When Joan Rivers' final interview stops sounding like a joke and starts feeling like a straight-up confession? People aren't asking if the Obamas were hiding something anymore. They're asking how deep it goes. And here's what really freaks people out. It wasn't what Joan said, it was how she said it. Like it was obvious. Like we were the ones pretending not to see it. When pressed, she didn't flinch. "It's okay," she said. "It's not a bad thing." Then she walked away. No smile, no wink, just dropped the mic and disappeared into the crowd. Weeks later, she was gone. Could her sudden death, so soon after her boldest on-camera claim, really just be a tragic accident? Or was there more behind that operating room curtain?
Gotta spend a minute on the Obamas, because there seems to be some momentum picking up in the rumor mill about their marriage. All right, I'm gonna bring you what I know.
And here's where things get real sketchy. Federal investigators found that the clinic where Joan had her procedure wasn't ready for any complications. Protocols skipped. Red flags everywhere. She was given too much anesthetic. Her oxygen levels dropped for minutes before anyone even reacted. Then there's the wildest part. Doctors allegedly performed a procedure she never gave written consent for. We're talking about Joan Rivers, a global icon treated in a major New York City facility. And still, everything went wrong? Just like that? It's almost too sloppy to believe. How does one of the most outspoken, fearless celebs in the country die from a routine procedure, right after calling out one of the most high-profile couples in politics? Some say it's all just a string of coincidences. Others, they're not so sure. Because when someone like Joan, known for never backing down, suddenly goes silent under suspicious circumstances, people can't help but ask, did she cross a line she was never meant to? Did her mouth cost her more than a scandal? Maybe even her life? But the biggest question of all, what else was Joan Rivers about to say? She'd already dropped 2 nuclear claims. Obama was the first homosexual president, and Michelle is a transgender. We all know. Not think, not suspect. She said it like it was common knowledge. Then suddenly, silence. Unanswered questions still float. Who let an unlicensed doctor take selfies while she was unconscious? Why did the clinic's surveillance footage mysteriously vanish during the investigation? And how did a routine throat check turn into a fatal disaster with no criminal charges? But Joan's story might just be the tip of something way bigger. Because if Obama wasn't just a politician, but a cultural architect, then maybe the real stage was never the White House. Maybe it was Hollywood. Over the years, we've seen a wild shift in movies and TV. Stories that were once niche are now mainstream. Inclusion didn't just rise, it became a rule. But was that natural growth? Or was someone behind the curtain calling the shots? That's where the name Jennifer Aniston suddenly pops up. Sounds random, right? But tabloids ran wild with rumors linking her and Obama, whispers of more than just casual meetings. Aniston shut it down on Jimmy Kimmel, saying it was absolutely untrue and claiming she's only met Obama once, saying she actually knows Michelle better. Clear denial. But weirdly, that didn't kill the rumors. If anything, it shifted the spotlight. Now it's less about Jen and Barack and more about what all these stories really mean. Is this just wild gossip? Or are these breadcrumbs from a much bigger, hidden narrative still unfolding? But what if the link between Obama and Jennifer Aniston wasn't romantic at all, just strategic? Since leaving office, Obama hasn't stayed quiet. Through his media company, Higher Ground Productions, he locked in major deals with streaming giants, launched documentaries, and stepped straight into Hollywood's inner circle. And Jennifer Aniston? With her Apple TV success and squeaky clean image, she's a cultural powerhouse. Now imagine this. Two of the most trusted public figures, one political, one Hollywood royalty, teaming up. Not for romance, but to subtly steer public opinion. In today's world, trust is everything. And when it comes to shaping minds, Obama and Aniston are gold. If stories can mold beliefs, votes, and values, who better to deliver those messages than a duo who already has the public's full attention? And that's where it starts getting uncomfortable. Because maybe the Obama presidency was just Act 1, and Hollywood, that's Act 2. Not politics through policy, but politics through storytelling. Think about it. A whole generation raised on Netflix and Hulu soaking up progressive messages through binge-worthy content without even realizing it. Was it just coincidence that socially charged narratives flooded TV screens right after Obama stepped into the media world? Or was that shift already mapped out, just waiting for the right faces and platforms? Some insiders say Obama's influence in Hollywood runs way deeper than folks realize. From casting choices to plot direction, whispers suggest he's part of a quiet alliance, a creative brain trust of A-listers and showrunners pushing a shared agenda. Real or not, even casual fans are noticing the pattern. Shows with strong social themes get fast-tracked, hyped up, and awarded left and right. And if the mastermind behind it all just happens to be a former president with global reach and a streaming empire, that's not far-fetched. It's just modern-day soft power. Meanwhile, the rumors around the Obamas keep shifting. Talk of separation, solo public appearances, and political distance between the two. Michelle's absence only adds more fuel. Michelle Obama skipping major events, like Trump's inauguration or Jimmy Carter's funeral, has only added fuel to the whispers. Their body language during rare public outings? Stiff. Office. And when a podcast run by DC insiders casually drops that the Obamas live separate lives, people listen. This isn't blog gossip. It's coming from connected political voices. Just as talk of a rocky marriage and media manipulation hit a boiling point, another name came roaring back: Larry Sinclair. Long written off as unreliable, Sinclair's wild 1999 claims about Obama resurfaced after a viral interview with a major political commentator. He says they shared a limo, a certain powdery substance, and more, all before anyone knew Obama's name outside Illinois. The details, graphic, specific, and very hard to ignore. Yes, Sinclair's credibility has always been shaky. He failed a live polygraph, and mainstream media labeled him a con man. But what's raising eyebrows now isn't just his claims, it's how fast the story was buried. No deep dives, no independent investigations, just silence. And that silence is what makes people wonder, was this really just nonsense? Or was it something so disruptive it had to be shut down completely to protect the carefully crafted image of America's first Black president? Because if even one piece of Sinclair's story checks out, it changes everything. In today's world, every celeb slip-up is dissected in minutes. So how has Obama, one of the most famous figures on Earth, managed to dodge this cloud for over a decade? Whether Sinclair is lying or trying to blow the whistle, his story hits a nerve. It raises the question, what else are we not being told? The real fear? That we've been watching more than just a polished political brand? We've been living inside a scripted narrative with the most important pages missing. And just when it starts to quiet down, it all kicks back up again. Meghan McCain, yes, that Meghan McCain, said on air that she'd heard divorce rumors about the Obamas from respected journalists. Not tabloids, not bloggers, real insiders. At the same time, right-wing influencers started claiming Jennifer Aniston had been spotted at private Obama events. And suddenly, what used to sound like fantasy starts to feel more like a story nobody wants to confirm out loud. Here's the strange part. Every denial seems to be followed by another breadcrumb. A weird photo, an awkward moment, a skipped appearance, and with a couple like the Obamas, who built their image on unity and transparency, any whisper of betrayal hits deep. But maybe this isn't just about breakups or Instagram rumors. Maybe this is about power, the kind that doesn't need elections or speeches to move people, the kind that slips through screens and scripts, shaping minds through entertainment, not politics. Because Obama's real legacy might not be the presidency itself, it might be the silent influence he holds now, from behind the scenes in boardrooms, studios, and algorithms. The real question isn't whether the rumors are true, it's whether we're finally ready to see the bigger picture. Are we looking at a leader or at the architect of a new kind of cultural control? Let us know what you think. Are we just reading into it too much? Or are these signs getting way too hard to ignore? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks for watching TeaWatch, and see you next time.